You've probably heard people say that certain everyday habits are signs of low intelligence. Talking to yourself, daydreaming, being disorganized, or forgetting names. These behaviors get labeled as dumb all the time. But here's what's actually happening. Most of these assumptions are completely wrong. Research shows that many habits people mock are actually signs of cognitive complexity, creativity, or normal brain function. Let's debunk the biggest myths about what makes someone unintelligent. Talking to yourself. People assume that talking to yourself means you're losing it or can't think properly. But cognitive scientists have found the opposite is true. Self-talk, especially out loud, actually improves problem-solving, memory, and focus. When you verbalize your thoughts, you're engaging multiple brain regions simultaneously, the areas for language, hearing, and processing. Studies show that people who talk themselves through tasks perform better and make fewer errors. Children naturally talk to themselves while learning, and adults who maintain this habit often show superior planning and organizational skills. The research is clear. People who talk to themselves aren't lacking intelligence. They're using a sophisticated cognitive strategy that most people abandon unnecessarily as adults. Daydreaming and mind wandering. Society treats daydreaming like a character flaw or sign of a lazy mind. Teachers scold students for it, employers discourage it, and productivity culture demonizes it. But neuroscience research reveals that daydreaming activates the brain's default mode network, a system that's crucial for creativity, problem-solving, and planning. People whose minds wander frequently often score higher on creativity tests and are better at generating novel solutions to complex problems. The most innovative thinkers throughout history were notorious daydreamers. Einstein, Tesla, and Darwin all credited mind wandering for their breakthrough insights. When your mind wanders, it's not shutting down. It's making connections between ideas that focused thinking might miss. Being disorganized. Messy desks, cluttered spaces, and chaotic schedules get labeled as signs of poor self-control or limited cognitive ability. But research from multiple universities shows that people with messy environments often demonstrate higher creativity and more flexible thinking. Organized people tend to follow conventional approaches, while disorganized people are more likely to try novel solutions and think outside established patterns. Some of the most brilliant minds, from Mark Twain to Steve Jobs, were famously disorganized. The key insight from psychology research is that different people have different optimal environments for cognitive performance. What looks like chaos to one person might be a perfectly functional system for another. Intelligence isn't about conforming to organizational standards that work for other people. Forgetting names and details. People who forget names at parties or can't remember where they put their keys get dismissed as absent-minded or unintelligent. But memory research shows this assumption is backwards. People with better memories for abstract concepts, complex ideas, and creative associations often have weaker memories for mundane details. Your brain has limited storage and processing capacity, so it prioritizes information based on what it considers important. If someone easily forgets names but remembers intricate details about ideas, systems, or creative projects, their brain is actually functioning efficiently by focusing on complex information over social minutiae. Some of the most intellectually accomplished people throughout history were notorious for forgetting everyday details while maintaining perfect recall for their areas of expertise. Procrastination patterns. Procrastination gets treated as pure laziness or poor time management skills. But psychological research shows that many procrastinators are actually perfectionist thinkers who delay starting because they're mentally working through complex approaches to problems. Studies indicate that moderate procrastination can lead to more creative and innovative outcomes because the extra thinking time allows for better solutions to emerge. People who start tasks immediately often choose the first approach that seems workable, while procrastinators may be subconsciously generating multiple strategies before beginning. The key distinction is between productive delay, where mental work is happening, and avoidant delay, where no progress occurs. Many highly successful people use what looks like procrastination as an incubation period for better ideas. Questioning authority and instruction. People who ask why too much or challenge established procedures get labeled as difficult, disruptive, or unable to follow simple directions. But developmental psychology research shows that questioning behavior often correlates with higher cognitive abilities and critical thinking skills. Children who question rules extensively typically score higher on intelligence tests and creative problem-solving assessments. Adults who challenge authority appropriately often become leaders and innovators because they can identify flaws in existing systems. The tendency to question isn't a sign of defiance or confusion. It's often evidence of analytical thinking and the ability to see beyond surface-level explanations. Some of the most important advances in science, technology, and social progress came from people who refused to accept, because that's how it's done, as sufficient reasoning. Preferring solitude. Social culture often treats people who prefer alone time as antisocial, awkward, or lacking social intelligence. But personality and cognitive research shows that many highly intelligent people naturally gravitate towards solitude because it provides optimal conditions for deep thinking and complex problem solving. Introverted thinkers often process information more thoroughly than extroverted thinkers, leading to more nuanced insights and creative solutions. Historical analysis shows that many breakthrough discoveries and creative works emerge from periods of sustained solitary work. The preference for solitude isn't about social deficiency. It's often about recognizing the environmental conditions that support your best cognitive performance. Some brains simply function better with minimal external stimulation and maximum internal processing time. Changing interests frequently. People who jump between hobbies, change career paths, or explore multiple interests simultaneously get labeled as unfocused, uncommitted, or unable to stick with anything. But research on polymaths and creative achievement shows that people with diverse interests often develop more innovative thinking patterns. When you learn skills from different domains, your brain creates unusual connections between seemingly unrelated concepts. This cross-pollination of ideas leads to breakthrough insights that specialists might miss. Many Nobel Prize winners and breakthrough innovators had diverse backgrounds spanning multiple fields. The ability to maintain curiosity across different domains isn't a sign of lack of focus. It's often evidence of intellectual flexibility and the capacity for integrative thinking. The next time someone judges everyday behaviors as signs of low intelligence, remember that human cognition is far more complex than simple stereotypes suggest. Many habits that get dismissed or mocked are actually evidence of sophisticated mental processes, creative thinking, or adaptive strategies. Intelligence isn't about conforming to narrow behavioral expectations. It's about how effectively your mind processes information, solves problems, and adapts to challenges. Don't let outdated assumptions make you feel bad about perfectly normal and often advantageous cognitive patterns.